What's up, YouTube? It's Keeko here, and today I'm bringing you guys episode 2 of
How Do I Yu-Gi-Oh!
Today we're going to be discussing how to build multiple decks for cheap and how to have multiple decks to be able to play. Have you ever sat down at a local and seen somebody come in playing Macro Rabbit, and then the very next day you see them maybe playing Heroes, and then the next day they're playing Gadgets, and then the next day they're playing Six Samurais, and you wonder, how did you guys do that? One thing that I do is whenever I start a new deck, I keep it in all the same color kind of sleeves. So right now, and for a while now, I've been using white Ultra Pro Yu-Gi-Oh! Sized, real skinny sleeves. And I'll buy about 4 to 10 packs somewhere in there if I have the chance. That's a good place to start. Have the sleeves first. Buy your 4 or 5 packs of sleeves and be good to go. And then sleeve up a deck. This is a deck that I've been building and working on for a while. It's Lavels, and of course I need a few more cards to come out, but I've been holding these back, and they've been in sleeves, and all that good stuff. Here I have my Fire King deck, not running any bears right now because I need to get some, but I have the Fire Kings right here, and this is a bad example because I went to a place to play and forgot my deck box with all the good stuff in it, and my sleeves needed to be changed. Didn't have extra sleeves, and all they had were the Yu-Gi sleeves, so this is my Chaos Dragon deck, but I had it in the same kind of sleeves. And then, of course, we've got my Robo Rabbit deck over here. So how do I do this? Well, what I do is I kind of go through and I'll build a deck, and I'll find my main deck, and that's what I put my expensive cards in. That's what I put my good staples in, my BLS, my Hobby, my Heavy Storm, my Ultimate Solemn Warning, my BLS, my Secret Tour Guides, my Ultra Dark Hole, Hollow, everything. That's what I put that in, is my main deck, the deck that I want to play the most. Now, in other decks, like right now, for example, in my Lavels, I have, you know, a Battle Pack Rare Solemn Judgment. I have common Battle Faders. I have, you know, some stuff like that. In my Fire King deck, I have common Dualities. I have common Call of the Haunted. Just some things like that. But in my Chaos Dragon deck right now, I have an Ulti, you know, Dark Arm Dragon, Ultra Red Eyes Darkness Metal. It's pretty much almost all hollowed out. So I kind of hold those, and those are things I never trade unless I really, really need money. If I really needed money, I'd take my Ultimate First Ed Effect Veiler and go sell it for 45 bucks. Right now they're running like 50 or 60. But, you know, I kind of keep those and I hold them, so I'm not always trying to pick them up, and I can have one deck that's blinged out. But all the other decks are, you know, common MSTs, common Dark Holes, and things like that, and I can play test with them, and then when I go to an event, I can put in the expensive cards if I want to. Now, what you would want to do here is essentially you just pick up cards in pieces. Obviously you find a deck you want to run a lot of and stuff like that, and then maybe try to find a cheaper deck that's competitive. Like right now, Six Samurais, you can get common of almost the entire deck, and a lot of the hollows are cheap for the most part. Heroes are pretty cheap right now, but they're pretty competitive as well, and you can build them cheaply. And when all you have to pick up is like 3 secret aliases that are $1 or $2 a piece and some things like that, I mean, you're good to go. Six Samurais, you can pick up 3 common Kizans for, you know, $1, $1.50 a piece. That's pretty good. And then you may only have to buy 1 or 2 big cards. Now let's say all of a sudden you need 3 card Ds. Well, now all you need is 3 card Ds instead of 3 card Ds and the rest of a deck that you want to play. So then you can concentrate on getting those. Another thing you can do is maybe if you get a good deal on a card and you just want to use it for an event, and you don't mind not having the card at home because maybe you don't go to locals a lot, you could, let's say you bought 3 card Ds at $30 a piece for $90, and they're pretty much going for $40 everywhere else. Well, then you got them for $90. You can play with them at the event and then turn around and try to sell them for $100. That's $20 under value, roughly, and then you make $10, and you got to play with the cards, and then you made your money back. That's a very good option for you. Keep them all in the same kind of sleeves, you know, and stuff like that, and hold on to your big cards that you do not want to have to pick up later on. Next thing is guessing. Guys, I have had this Secret First Ed Tour Guide since it came out. I got rid of one when it was at a high price, when I thought it was going to get reprinted, but I was thinking, you know, this is a card I do not want to have to pay to get again. The same thing with the Ultra Dark Hole. I picked that up early. We all knew those were going to be big. Solemn Warning, some people didn't know at first that this was going to be big. I thought that it might, so I kept the, you know, 2 Ultimate First Eds and just held them back. Another thing that I do, guys, is I keep as many Xyz monsters as I can. If I buy a box or something like that, I'll try to make my money back on everything else, but I'll keep at least 1 or 2 of the big boss Xyz or synchros. So this right here is my synchro pile, and it's in order, and fusions I guess, and it's in order from, you know, lowest to highest as in levels of monsters. And as you can see, a lot of these are DT or Ghost or Ultimate. They're the highest value rarities, because that's how I kept them from the very beginning. You know, and so I can make pretty much any synchro that I want to into an extra deck, along with the Xyz monsters. Now these guys I keep. I don't get rid of them, and I try to keep at least 1 of each. And then if later on I just have some that I do not need for anything, they're deck specific, and they're going really expensive, then yeah, I'll get rid of them. But until that point, I'll hold them, and you know, you end up with a pretty good collection. You do this over time. You don't have to buy them in bulk. You don't have to buy them all at once, and then sooner or later you end up with a really nice collection, and you can say, hey, I want to build this. Boom, I'll go build all that. I don't have a big eye, so I'll pick up a big eye and 2 card Ds, and I can run the entire deck, sell them later on if I want to. It's a really good way, guys, to build up. And so, you know, what I would say, maybe if you go and bought a box of Cosmo Blazer right now, you may want to go ahead and get rid of your bear, since he's really expensive if you pull a bear. You might want to hold on to a breakthrough skill, because I think breakthrough skill will see a lot more play if Effect Veiler, if they ever try to put Effect Veiler to 1 or 2. They might not, but they might. Who knows? This is Konami here. If you thought you might run Fire Fist in the future and you didn't want to hold a bear right now, go ahead and sell your bear and hold on to your Tiger King. If you pull a Tiger King, maybe you think that's good. Or maybe back when people had Abyss Gaios and they were going for like 50 cents or $1. Now they're 3 to 5, maybe even higher. Who knows? If you had held on to some of those, you know, they weren't worth really getting rid of because they were so cheap. So why get rid of them? Go ahead and hold on to them. That's a very good thing to do, guys. This allows you to build multiple decks. And yes, some decks are just expensive. If you know, you wanted to play water, you really had to save and trade for some of the things like that. But you know, that could be your main deck that you could invest a lot of money in, and then you have all these other decks to fall back on if you ever decide you want to sell the water deck or the Fire Fist deck or Prophecies or anything along those lines. Look at Priestess. If you had held on to a Priestess or 2, you were in the money. You know, a bunch of different things like that. So in my opinion, guys, the extra deck stuff is worth keeping more than anything, because it will save you the most money. That's the one thing that I see more and more people do, is they sell everything off, they come back, they spend a ton of money building the deck, and then they realize that the stuff that they need to run is really expensive for the extra deck, and then they spend, you know, $25 for a Gaga Cowboy, which is kind of what they're going for right now. It's extremely ridiculous, and there's no reason to do that. So that's my opinion, guys, on how you can run multiple decks. Always keep a couple of these double deck boxes around. You can fit 3 or 4 decks in here if you do it right. And one thing that's very easy to do, guys, is these are staples right here. I can take them and put them in this deck pretty much, and I'm good to go. Or I can put them in this deck pretty much, and I'm good to go. So that's what I would say to you guys. Thumbs up the video, comment, rate, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Links in the description below. Look at episode 1. I'll try to link it below. And episode 3 will be coming in the next week. I hope you guys really enjoy it. Hopefully you guys have seen this before, YCS Austin. YCS Austin will be coming, having good coverage, so I hope you guys will follow me on here. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.